We're back at the Orange County Sportsplex in Hillsborough, North Carolina. Chris Lehman with you as the UNC Tar Heels host the Charlotte 49ers in an ACCHL matchup. Getting started quickly, these two teams both coming off of wins, first game in a week for the Tar Heels. They're looking to start out on the offensive end quickly. Stripped away and taken back up the ice by Eric Jones. The Niner forward stalled out at the red line, forced back in down the far boards by the Tar Heels. Around behind the net goes Patrick Kramer. Kramer leaves it for Reese, who tried to drop it back to the point for Kramer, but it was not open, and it's cleared all the way out by Charlotte. Niners moving left to right here in the first period, wearing the black uniforms with the green and white trim. And now a chance coming for Chapel Hill, powering into the front of the net, and no shot there for Noah Friedman. Poked back out in front, stopped by the goaltender Smith. The rebound is there through the crease, and Smith is up to the task. Great chance for the Tar Heels as they're buzzing around that 49er net. And we get our first look at the starting netminder, Colin Smith, for Charlotte today. And he stands tall and a couple of shots in close and stayed tight to his posts on that power move by Noah Friedman. As I mentioned, both these teams coming off of wins. The first league game of the season for Charlotte was last night here at the Orange County Sportsplex. And we're going to get an offside call on UNC. This one's going to come all the way down on the delayed offsides, not seen by the junior Zach Nodden. And so UNC will be down in front of their own net for this faceoff. We'll see the sophomore Will Douthit again in net for the Tar Heels, as a faceoff will be fought for in the middle of that near circle. Poke to the boards. They'll scrum for it. The Tar Heels trying to force it up those boards. Can't force it all the way out. Well done by the defenseman James McCarthy for Charlotte to keep that in. Loose in the slot. UNC comes away with it. Cross ice pass. Hits the mark. Down the near wing and into the corner goes Matt Gelatly. Gelatly shrugs off a hit, throws it off the near post, and it's behind the net, thrown out to the point. Pinned there by Oliveira. He'll dump it back behind the net. Scooped along by the Charlotte defense and all the way out. Just about 2 minutes into this contest, and it's been mostly Chapel Hill early. The only chances that the 49ers have generated were off that delayed offside call that came all the way down. Misplayed by the Charlotte defense. Chance coming for the Tar Heels. Poked just wide on the near side by Gelatly. He'll swing it around, throws it in front, and again comes up empty. Charlotte scrambling to keep this game even right now. Near side, James McCarthy swings it cross ice and out. The 49ers want to change as Cody Andriano carries it in behind the Chapel Hill net. UNC's defense stands tall, and it will be stalled out, rung around the boards to the far side, and then across ice. The pass will be broken up by Ray, the defenseman for the Niners. A scrum for it along the Carolina blue line, and it'll be eventually lifted up and out. Awkward carom off the glass. That will force it in on the keeper, Smith, and he will cover it up for a face-off. 17-14 to go in the first period. And a scoreless game so far, but the Tar Heels have come close a couple of times. Near side face-off in the offensive zone for UNC. And it'll be Kramer to take the face-off. Lost into the corner where Ray comes away with it. He lifts it up the boards. Michael Ray finds Beeler, and he can't clear it all the way out. Tar Heels holding the blue line strong. Swung back behind the net. 49ers dump it up the near boards. There to stop that up was Reese. The Tar Heels can't control. Bad pass to the middle. Reese steals it away. High slot. Backhander sticked away by Colin Smith. And the pressure stays on for UNC. Patrick Kramer shovels it behind the net. Michael Ray there for the Niners. Puck squirts out of the scrum behind the cage. It'll be forced into the far corner by Adamson of the Tar Heels. Kramer there to help. He'll keep it in the zone. Moving forward. Adamson shot. Knocked down and slotted to the corner by Smith. The clearance goes cross ice to the far boards. Pinching in, it's saved at the Tar Heel blue line by Gelatly. But the 49ers clear it out. And Carolina will reset. Neutral ice. Gelatly Swings a pass to the far boards. And streaking in for the Tar Heels was Reese again. Or pardon me, Friedman. He gets stalled out, cleared out to the blue line. And again, Chapel Hill doing a great job. We saw it last week as UNC's defense, particularly after the first period, was able to step up at the blue line with confidence against Richmond and really thwart any breakout attempts that they had coming out smoothly. Friedman moving forward in transition, far corner, sends it across to the near circle. Gellatley shot, and it'll be knocked down in front, cleared out by the 49ers. Streaking down the ice, Andrew Miller, a mainstay for this 49er team. In on goal, Douthit with the glove. Beautiful stop from the starting netminder for UNC. And the game remains scoreless for now. Well, both of these goaltenders have had to be up to the task early in this contest. And that's the first big test for Douthit of UNC. Near circle face-off in front of the Carolina net. 15:29 to go in the period. Drawn backwards, shot fanned on by Andrew Miller at the top of the circle, and UNC forces it out. Chasing it down in the near corner for the Tar Heels is number 8, Josh Carlson. The freshman forces it behind the net, shoved along by the Niner defense, and up the boards. On the far point, held in by the Tar Heels. Poked along, it's stalled out on the far boards, and Charlotte clears it all the way down. Daniel Jones, who we'll hear from later on our broadcast, knocks it back up for UNC. Taking a hit, Beeson gets it deep for UNC. Nobody there to support, and so Charlotte carries it back out. Cross ice dump in to the far corner. It'll be tracked down by Adamson. Shove it along to the near boards, where Chapel Hill will push it up and out of the zone. And neutral ice, dispossessed was Josh Carlson. The Niners again on the attack. Andrew Miller into the far corner to the top of the slot. No angle to get the shot away. And so Charlotte retreats. That's Cody Andriano throwing it towards the goal. We've got a quick whistle. And the face-off. I didn't see exactly what happened down on that far end of the ice. But we will get a face-off in front of UNC's Will Douthit on the far circle. And it looked like it was just a quick whistle to stop play. Might have been deflected up into the netting behind the goal. Either way, face-off one forward by Charlotte. Forcing his way in, McCarthy in that far corner. Gets it behind the net. Nice hit laid by the Tar Heel defense to knock the puck loose behind the cage. Up the boards. Swung out by Adamson. And now UNC carries it down the far side of the ice. Into the corner. Thrown right out in front. Beautiful shot there from Kramer as it was kicked right into the slot. Nobody there for the Tar Heels to finish, though. Again, Charlotte relieves the pressure by clearing it all the way down the ice. A soft clear will avoid icing, but UNC not as fortunate as this one swung all the way back down. Kyle Oliveira trying to get something on the transition with Charlotte on the change, and he just had nobody on the near side. 13:45 to go, and while we have a quick break, we do want to remind you that the game right now being live streamed at Town Burger Hall and Beer. Pardon me, Town Hall Burger and Beer in Durham. I'll give a quick shout out as they have streamed the game for us today over in Durham. So if you can't make it here to the Orange County Sportsplex, go enjoy some beer and burgers at Town Hall Burger and Beer and watch a little Carolina hockey. Moving in, the Tar Heels, a hand up. There's a penalty coming, and it'll go against the 49ers. A high stick. And based on the body language, this will go against number 74, Von Beeler. A 2-minute man advantage coming for UNC. The power play got off to a slow start against Richmond last Saturday. But UNC got things organized after the first period, figured things out at the intermission, and put together a very nice power play for the rest of the game. A couple of goals with a man up against the Spiders last week. In for the faceoff, Mason Regan. That'll be one backwards by Charlotte, but UNC comes away with possession. Friedman to the far point, gets it back in the near corner, wraps his way behind the net, drops it back out, looking for Daniel Jones, but that pass disrupted by Worden, and he'll get it all the way out. Jones loses it back behind his own net. He'll have to track it down with some pressure from Andrew Miller. And the Tar Heels set up their breakout in the man-up situation. Moving forward, Gellatley with speed to the near corner, tosses it off the post. A high rebound bounces down to the far corner, and along the sideboards, they'll scrum for it. Friedman gets it in the far corner, works behind the net, looking out in front, nothing there right now, so he'll circle to the near boards. Looking back into the corner, switching places with Beeson, back to the point, slap shot blockered away by Smith, and the rebound cleared out from the corner, saved by Gellatley on the near point to Beeson. Along the hashes, thrown cross ice on the backhand. Jones throws it in front. It'll pinball around, saved at the center point by Gellatley. Thrown on goal, tips around, and it's knocked away by Smith. Great desperation play by the netminder as he reached behind with the glove and knocked that one off the goal line. Some great chances in the first minute of the man advantage for UNC. 40 seconds left as they move back up with it. Down the near side, Salfia watching Reese, throws it off the side of the net from the near boards, gets it back behind the net, drops it to the point, far side, Oliveira throws one towards the net, it's deflected into the corner, where it'll be picked up by Charlotte and lifted all the way down the ice. That will kill off just about the rest of this power play, only 15 seconds left as it's tracked down by Oliveira in the far corner. UNC feeling the pressure from Charlotte, trying to kill the rest of this penalty on their offensive side of the ice. And they'll do just that. 5 seconds and counting as the man in the box, Beeler, is up and ready to go. He'll come out as the power play expires. UNC 0 for 1 on the man advantage here early, but they're still in possession, moving the puck down to the near boards. Reese loses control. McCarthy clears it all the way out. Not sure if he knew the power play was over, and it'll be icing on Charlotte. 11-12 to go in this first period. Still looking for our first goal between these two teams, both unbeaten in league play so far. Last night here at the Orange County Sportsplex, Charlotte dispatched the Elon Phoenix for their first league win of the season. UNC, of course, with wins over Richmond and the same Elon team here in Hillsborough as well, 2-0-0 in the early ACCHL season. Face-off, one in the defensive zone by Charlotte, lifted out on the far boards, and UNC sends it right back in. It was across the red line, so no icing on this play. Beeson loses control in the near corner, picked up by Charlotte, and they'll clear it across the ice. Giving chase is Jones, Eric Jones. Can't come up with it for Charlotte. Thrown across and off the boards, but it'll be taken by Beeson. Looks to the center, soft pass picked off, and the 49ers move back up the ice with it. Chase Worden, captain for the Niners, throws one on goal, swallowed by Douthit, and he'll hold on for the faceoff in the defensive zone. As we have another break, we do want to give you a heads up that we will be back here at Orange County Sportsplex on Wednesday. It'll be our next broadcast, 8:45, the scheduled puck drop, a rivalry game between the UNC Tar Heels and the Duke Blue Devils. Certainly, we'd love to have the support here at the Orange County Sportsplex. If you can't make it, though, you can always find it on the Carolina Hockey YouTube page. You can just search UNC Hockey versus Duke. Of course, when those two teams meet up, it's always going to be a barn burner between the two Blues here in the middle of North Carolina. Icing call again on UNC. It'll come back into the Tar Heel zone. Far side circle, face-off coming. Won by Charlotte. Along the boards, thrown on goal. Another nice glove save made by Douthit. And he's had to be ready with the web early on in this game. A couple of big saves with that left hand. This time, Carolina wins the face-off. Thrown up to the far point. Dish towards the net, blocked down in front, and now the Tar Heels have a chance to move forward. Down the near wing, Friedman tosses it in front, deflected up in the air. It'll be settled by Charlotte, but they can't clear until it's bobbled and given back by the Tar Heel defense. Loose in the neutral zone, cleared back in by Friedman. Steps up at the blue line, but he can't dispossess. Puck moved forward by Charlotte. It's Worden, the captain, sends it to the middle looking for an open teammate in Eric Jones. Jones into the near corner. He'll look to get the puck out in front, loose in the slot, and the Tar Heels have a man there, but we do have a Charlotte player down in the near corner, down to our right. This is not what the 49ers would like to see. They've been plagued with injuries early, had a shattered leg in practice early on in the season. that put a man out. Now, fortunately, it sounds like he will be back next semester, and good to see the injured player Eric Jones up and heading to the bench, just a little shaken up, but also a couple of nasty injuries for the 49ers as well to go along with that broken leg in a game a couple weeks ago. They had a defenseman skated over on his arm, had to go get stitches, and he's been out for a little while as well. Not to mention Nick Johnson last night, a high ankle sprain in the game against Elon. So the 49ers, already with a slightly short bench, would not like to see Eric Jones out for this contest, especially only halfway through the first period. Tar Heels take control behind their own net. Can't get in out. Charlotte with the pressure. Back behind the cage. It'll be swept out of the zone this time from behind by the Tar Heel defense. Turned right back by McCarthy. James McCarthy dumps it into the zone for the 49ers. They'll try to set up an attack. UNC up along the boards, and we have a whistle and a penalty. This time it will go against UNC, and the man advantage goes to the 49ers. Looks to be the sophomore Jake Wieland out of High Point, North Carolina, headed to the sin bin for UNC. And with 9:09 to go in the first period, Charlotte will see their first power play. It'll be the captain, Chase Worden, to take the face-off for Charlotte. Wins it backwards to the far point. Knocked off the boards, down the far side of the ice. Back to the near point. Shot thrown on goal. Deflected and knocked back behind the net. Good chance there at the shot from Michael Ray. And now the Niners go to work on the man up. Thrown in front. Sticked away by Douthit. Top of the slot. It'll be thrown on goal. And this time Douthit able to control the rebound and settle it for a face-off. That shot coming from the defense was Salfia, who got that shot on goal. Tar Heels going to get a quick change to their PK unit, 21 seconds into the kill. Another far circle face-off. Again, Worden wins it for the 49ers. Backhanded into the far corner. Worden there to collect for the power play. He'll work to the near corner. Has his stick lifted, and the puck comes loose. They'll battle for it along the boards, back behind the net. Worked into the corner, sent out in front in the near circle. It's picked off and cleared out by the Tar Heel defense. Pressure put on by Noah Friedman. Almost had a chance at a shorthanded goal, but it'll be turned back up, and Charlotte moves forward. Thrown wide from the near side of the boards by Worden. And it rings all the way around and out. Settled down by Michael Ray. The defenseman moves into the zone, throws it, caddy corner to the far side, and now the Tar Heels will clear it out as they pick up the loose puck. 50 seconds to go on the power play for Charlotte. Just under 8 minutes left to play in the first period. Out from behind his own net, Patrick Salfia moves it forward into the middle of the neutral zone. Weaving through the D, Beeler gets into the near corner, wraps it around behind. Picked up along the far sideboard. Charlotte working it out to the point. Now cross ice into the near corner once again. UNC doing a great job keeping the Charlotte power play out to the exterior of the zone. Big hit up at the blue line by Andrew Miller. That stalled out the clear momentarily for UNC's penalty kill, but they do drop it all the way back where Michael Ray will collect. Saucered up the middle. Couldn't be controlled by Beeler, and that gives the Tar Heels another chance to get it deep. That should finish off the power play. Just 4 seconds to go on the penalty to Wieland, and he hops over the boards and back out as we're to full strength once again. 7 minutes to go in the period. Still looking for our first goal of the game. Delayed offsides here on the Tar Heels. They'll have to check up. Now they can go on the forecheck. Shoveled up the far sideboards and swatted back in by UNC. Behind his own net, Gerasimo moving to the far boards. Great pressure by this line for UNC. A lot of physical play down in that corner. We're going to get a penalty on both sides now as a frustrated Beeson gave a shove to the back of the hand of Gerasimo. And it looks like they'll both go to the box, and that's not the kind of penalty that Jeff Volkman wants his players taking, because they had the man-up advantage coming as Gerasimo had Beeson in a headlock. I know it's difficult. You want to give up and give something back. You don't want to let that go unanswered. But you'd rather answer it with a goal than another penalty. So now we're looking at 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. 6:34 to go in the period. And we're still looking for our first goal. Might come here with some extra space on the ice. Face off, one forward to the near corner by Patrick Kramer. Kramer will be our guest after the first period. So he'll join us at the intermission to discuss what's gone on here in the first 20 minutes and early on in the season. Charlotte clears it out. Moving forward, it's Chase Worden. Forces the puck back behind the net. The Tar Heel defense knocks it back up the boards. Knocked off the backboards as the Charlotte defense holds the blue line and forces Carolina up the near boards this time. Still, they can't get it out. Holding the blue line this time, Michael Ray to the middle. Ray's slap shot deflected in the slot, and it will loop over the goal where the Tar Heels can get control behind their cage. Up the middle. Nice receipt of the pass. Twisting for it was Patrick Kramer. Goes across the ice looking for his teammate in Richard. And Richard will be tied up behind the net as the pass out in front deflected, and a chance for the Tar Heels to put something on goal. Gelatley throws it on net, stopped by Smith. He'll poke away the rebound, and it squirts to the far corner. Friedman back to the point. One-timer sticked away and into the netting by Colin Smith. Not a bad attempt from the Tar Heels' Richard there. And an offensive zone faceoff coming here for UNC. Still 4-on-4 for 51 more seconds after the penalties to Gerasimu and Beeler for Charlotte and Carolina respectively. Faceoff comes out of the offensive zone. Tar Heels back in control in the neutral zone, looking to break back in. That's disrupted and cleared back out by Charlotte. At the blue line, Carolina there defensively to clear it right back in. They have not given Charlotte much room outside of their own zone to pass the puck around, and it's really made it difficult for the 49ers at even strength to get into the zone and set something up. Nice play by Friedman, bringing his man down, and they're going to get him for a tripping call, and he's got some questions about that. Wasn't a bad play. Tried to take the body, but I think once he stumbled to the ground and took the man with him, it became a penalty that really could not be ignored. And so 18 seconds of 4-on-3 before we go to our normal man advantage of 5-on-4 for these two teams. Charlotte with their second power play of the game. They had a couple good chances on Douthit the first time around. Now they've got a little more space for about 20 seconds. Worden to take the faceoff for Charlotte, but it'll be one forward by UNC. They tried to clear it out. Not a bad effort from Mason Regan, but now Charlotte sets up the power play. In tight, bottom of the circle, near side, sent straight into the webbing of Douthit's glove. He'll hold on for a whistle. That burns 10 more seconds. So 8 seconds left on the matching minors to Gerasimu and Beeler. Still 4-on-3. This time the faceoff comes on the near circle. Regan trying to draw it backwards. Doesn't have success with that. Instead, he'll get around the centerman in Worden and clear it out to center ice. Charlotte now looking at 5-on-4 as Beeson and Gerasimu back with the steal. Moving up the near side, it's Beeson, and he'll be stalled out at the Charlotte blue line. 49ers bringing it back up the near side. Worden into the corner. Circles behind the net. Along the boards in the far corner, Andrew Miller back for Worden. Tossed out in front, sticked away by Douthit. And Charlotte resets the power play. Up at the point, thrown towards the net on a slapper. No deflection there to knock it on net. But the 49ers still in control. Just over a minute left on the man advantage. Under 4 to go in the period. It's loose in front, and they deflect it home. On the far side of the goal. And it'll be a power play goal for Charlotte as they take a 1-0 lead. That will be credited to Andrew Miller, with Friedman in the box, and it's 1-0. So we'll restart play at center ice. One forward by the 49ers. They'll move in to the near corner, thrown in front of the net, and Douthit quick to jump on it with the glove. He'll freeze for a whistle. And the defensive zone for the Tar Heels. Well, we do also want to give you a heads up that we will be hosting a coaches show for UNC hockey at Tobacco Road Sports Cafe in Chapel Hill with head coach Jeff Volkman, as well as a Hall of Fame broadcaster, formerly for the Carolina Hurricanes, Chuck Gayton, will join myself and head coach Jeff Volkman on Thursday for the first coaches show of the year. Charlotte, after that last goal, has really been putting on the pressure. Loose in the slot, taken back out by the Tar Heels. Racing down the near, or far boards, Gelatley rips one into a stick of a Charlotte defenseman. And will deflect out for a face-off in front of the Charlotte net. 3:23 to go in the period. Just a one-goal lead for Charlotte came on the power play only 30 seconds ago. In the far circle, it will be Kramer to take the face-off. Knocked back behind the Charlotte cage, wrapped around the boards. Pinching is Daniel Jones to keep it in. He gets it back from Reese behind the net. Swings a wraparound in front, but there to shut the door was Colin Smith. He'll cover for another face-off with 3:14 left in the period. Well, the Tar Heels have carried a good amount of the play. At even strength, they've been able to control, get some shots on goal, and test Smith, but he's done a great job in the net today. In the near corner, Reese comes away with it for UNC. Back to Kramer, behind his back, looking for Adamson in front, but his teammate not ready in the slot, and it will be cleared out by Charlotte's Loveless. All the way down behind the net, icing waved off, so the Tar Heels will bring it back out. Taking a hit was Wieland as he moves it forward through the neutral zone for the Tar Heels. Can't corral it around the blue line, and Charlotte sends it right back out. Daniel Jones spinning around, dumps it up the near boards. Or it'll be scooped up, wrapping back to his defense. Now moving in, Kramer throws it across to the near side. Nobody there to poke it home. Pinching for the Tar Heels. Josh Carlson saves it on the near point. Working hard behind the net with Miller and Ray of Charlotte to give his team some time to change. They have. They'll set up. Richard a shot. Blocked in front by Gerasimu. And it will be backhanded out of the zone by Charlotte's Andrew Miller. Forced back in by the Tar Heel forecheck. Michael Ray sidesteps a check from Josh Carlson, gains the red line, and clears it deep behind his net. Douthit backhands it up the far boards. Deflected out off a couple of bodies. A chance in transition for the Tar Heels. Moving in, and it whistles just wide for Beeson from that far circle. This gives a chance to Charlotte to move forward. Gaining the blue line, dumping it in, Eric Jones. He'll get it back along the sideboards. Can't maintain the zone, though. And it will walk all the way back out to Patrick Salfia. And his dump in deflects into the Tar Heel bench. And it'll be a neutral zone face-off in front of the UNC blue line. 1:26 to go in the period. 1-0 Charlotte. They scored on a power play with just under 4 minutes to go. A tip-in on the far post by Andrew Miller. Here's the neutral zone face-off. One to the middle. UNC controls. Shoveled up the near boards. There at the red line to stop it up, Tyler Briggs, and he'll sweep it in to the UNC zone. From the near corner, backhanded up the boards. That will be shut down by the Niner forecheck. Man goes down in the near corner, but will play on. Again behind the net. Charlotte has it, and immediately a hand comes up. Heavy hit coming in from behind. And there is a 49er down and a scrum next to him behind the UNC net. Well, and from my vantage point down here, I could not tell who it was that made the hit. And with the player face down on the ice, I don't know what number it is. Well, we've mentioned the injury issues for Charlotte early on in this season, and this is not going to be a good one either. 59.8 seconds to go in the period. And it looks like we're going to have a bit of a lengthy pause here as the injured 49er will be attended to. 1-0 in favor of Charlotte with just a minute left in the first period.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, unchockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
Tar Heel Newsbeat reports on the local stories in our town. Everything from sushi and BLTs to the makers and volunteers who are investing in making our town a better place to live. You'll find Tar Heel Newsbeat in the streaming channels section of your Roku.
News and weather for the untethered.
From the reserves of Topo Organic Distillery in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, comes 8 Oak Whiskey, aged with the heads already removed on 8 different chars of American and French oak. Topo's 8 Oak Whiskey, limited reserves at all ABCs.
We're about ready to restart play. The injured 49er, number 23, James McCarthy, heading to the locker room now for Charlotte. It was good to see he was able to get up and skate off under his own power and walk out right here in front of us. So it looks like he will be okay. There has been a Tar Heel ejected. I can't see who it is moving down and out in that far corner. But UNC will lose a player for the match. This is going to be a big power play for Charlotte, because with the game misconduct, that means we're going to have a 5-minute major for the hit from behind and a 5-minute power play, which means Charlotte can score as much as they want in the next 5 minutes, and they'll still be up a man. The officials conferencing at center ice. One of the Orange Stripes over talking with the UNC bench about the call, giving head coach Jeff Volkman an explanation for why the match penalty was given out. And the 5 minutes now up on the board. So that is what it will be, a game misconduct for a hit from behind. And we'll have to, at the intermission, get the identity of the player who has been sent to the locker room, as it was a whole crowd of players down there in that far corner away from us here in the broadcast booth. And the UNC locker room, rather, down at that far end. So I did not see who it was that went into the dressing room, but it will be a man advantage for the last minute of this first period for Charlotte, and then 4 minutes into the second period as well. They've already got a 1-goal lead, looking to add to it, as UNC will send out Patrick Kramer to face off against Captain Chase Worden of Charlotte. 49ers trying to get it under control on the power play on the near boards, but instead it'll be squirted loose. A chance for UNC, sent to the middle and deflected just wide by Kramer. A great shorthanded opportunity for UNC. 40 seconds left in the period as it's swept back behind the Charlotte goal. Giving chase for the Tar Heels is Ben Reese. Reese pressuring Worden. Back into the near corner for Michael Ray. He loses it to Worden behind the net. And Charlotte will look to set up a breakout here with 20 seconds to go in the period. Worden up for Miller. Miller gaining speed to the neutral zone. Down the far boards and into the corner around the defense. Stops, cuts back. Back to the point for Ray. Give and go with his defensive partner. Risks it towards the net. Blocked in the crowd of bodies in front. And UNC able to clear it out for the final 5 seconds of the period. There goes the horn. That will finish off the first 20 minutes. A power play goal for the Charlotte 49ers, the only score of the period, but a match penalty given out for a hit from behind to the Tar Heels. It'll be 4 minutes on the major penalty left and a 4-minute power play for Charlotte when we return for the second period. As I mentioned, we will have Patrick Kramer, the sophomore forward, with us for a quick interview at the first intermission, and we'll be right back with that here in just a moment. 1-0 Charlotte after 20 minutes.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, unchockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
Tar Heel Newsbeat reports on the local stories in our town. Everything from sushi and BLTs to the makers and volunteers who are investing in making our town a better place to live. You'll find Tar Heel Newsbeat in the streaming channels section of your Roku.
News and weather for the untethered.
From the reserves of Topo Organic Distillery in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, comes 8 Oak Whiskey, aged with the heads already removed on 8 different chars of American and French oak. Topo's 8 Oak Whiskey, limited reserves at all ABC stores.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, unchockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
Tar Heel Newsbeat reports on the local stories in our town. Everything from sushi and BLTs to the makers and volunteers who are investing in making our town a better place to live. You'll find Tar Heel Newsbeat in the streaming channels section of your Roku.
News and weather for the untethered.
From the reserves of Topo Organic Distillery in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, comes 8 Oak Whiskey, aged with the heads already removed on 8 different chars of American and French oak. Topo's 8 Oak Whiskey, limited reserves at all ABC stores.
Welcome back to the Orange County Sportsplex here in Hillsborough, North Carolina. A little bit of a switch up for us here. Tar Heels talking things over in the locker room. Won't be able to get Patrick Kramer out here to talk at the first intermission, but we'll still update things for you as we do have an update. The injured player, James McCarthy, was up and walking around in that locker room for Charlotte, so hopefully that's some good news for the 49ers. As we mentioned, they've had some injuries early, but we do also have an update on the penalized player, and it is a big name for the Tar Heels. Matt Gelattley is the one with the game misconduct, the 5-minute major for the hit from behind on James McCarthy, so they will be without an offensive powerhouse, particularly a whale of a slap shot from Gelattley for the rest of this game. Still plenty of power on the offensive end. We saw Adamson, Kramer, as well as Friedman and Reese get into the action. They were able to get a lot of puck work out in front. Colin Smith, the netminder for Charlotte, did a great job of controlling his crease and moving the puck along to keep that puck out of the danger area as much as possible. Tar Heels going to have to work on that penalty kill, though. They will have 4 minutes to kill off once we get back underway of that major, and there's no getting out of it. Even if the 49ers scored, they're still going to have that power play until about the 16-minute mark of the second period, and the lone goal so far for Charlotte came on a tip-in by Andrew Miller on the man advantage. So those are going to be the main focuses for the Tar Heels in the second period, finding a way to get that puck to the danger areas in the low slot, right around the crease a little bit more often, find a way to finish those, as well as kill off that pesky 4 minutes left on the major penalty. Well, we've got about 10 minutes or so left in the intermission. We're going to step back aside. When we come back, puck drop to start the second period. The Charlotte 49ers leading your UNC Tar Heels 1-0 at the break.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, unchockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
Tar Heel Newsbeat reports on the local stories in our town. Everything from sushi and BLTs to the makers and volunteers who are investing in making our town a better place to live. You'll find Tar Heel Newsbeat in the streaming channel section of your Roku.
News and weather for the untethered.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, unchockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
The day's top trending topics, local weather, world news, and since we all enjoy a little recreation time, City Newsbeat streams human interest stories, entertainment news, science and space stories, food recipes, cocktail recipes, even horoscopes. Go to the search channel section and tap in Newsbeat on the keyboard, then open the app. Without any more work on your part, the local stories of the day begin to play. Try City Newsbeat. News and weather for the untethered.
Sportsplex. We're in Hillsboro, North Carolina, ready to start period number 2. A fresh 20 minutes up on the clock for the UNC Tar Heels and the Charlotte 49ers. Quick update as we did learn more about James McCarthy. He will be out for the rest of the game, but good news for the Niners. It doesn't appear to be too serious of an injury. He is talking with the trainer currently just to make sure everything is okay, but seems to be just, for the most part, a minor cut from that collision with the boards. That will be all it is for him, and he will be back. We mentioned Charlotte, plenty of injuries to deal with already, so that's good news for them here early on in the season. Not good news for UNC, though. As we mentioned, Matt Gelatley gets the major penalty for UNC, and they will be without him for the remainder of this contest. There is a man in his place in the box, though, now for the final 4 minutes and 1 second of the power play for Charlotte. Their only goal, of course, coming on a tip-in by Andrew Miller on a power play. And that's where we stand, 1-0. That goal came late in the first period, just under 4 minutes to go. And other than that, outside of the power plays that Charlotte has had in a couple little flurries in the UNC end, the Tar Heels have controlled play. They've gotten the better scoring opportunities, and the difference maker really, in my eyes, is the goaltender, Colin, as the opening faceoff deflected into the UNC bench. They'll have to redo this. But the difference maker, as I was saying, Colin Smith in this game so far. And now we're ready to go. They'll drop the puck again at center ice. Kramer in for the faceoff for UNC, but Chase Worden wins it backwards for Charlotte. They'll move it forward. Dropped at the red line. Across ice for Michael Ray. In for Worden. He has plenty of room into the slot. Blocker save made by Douthit. And a big one on an early chance on the power play for Charlotte. That gives Reese a chance to break out shorthanded. He'll run it down the far boards and into the corner. Stalls it out there. And now Charlotte will turn it back out. Cross ice pass. That misses everybody. And it'll be icing. Intended target was Andrew Miller on the near side boards, but it was not within his reach. About 36 seconds gone in this second period. 326, pardon me, still remaining on the man advantage for the 49ers. Offensive zone faceoff for UNC, and they're going to control it in the far corner. Great work by Noah Friedman. He'll tie it up and hold it in that far corner, working by himself. He's got a pair of 49ers in there trying to poke it loose, and he's still got it tied up in his skates. He's run a good 20 seconds off in that far corner, and he's still got control of it. Finally, it's poked loose back behind the Charlotte net, and they will move it along. A big hit from Friedman as well as the puck cleared out by the Niner defense. Weaving down the far side boards, number 12, Patrick Salfia, gets stuck behind the net, and the puck will be picked up by Daniel Jones and cleared all the way down. Just over 2 minutes now killed off of this 5-minute major on UNC's Matt Gelatley. A hit from behind in the final minute of the first period, and that'll be a big producer that is absent from the Tar Heel bench for the remainder of this one. Back behind the net, Beeson pinning it along the boards. UNC coming out looking stellar on the kill. They've controlled the puck down in the Charlotte end about as much as Charlotte has controlled it on the power play here in the second period. And an offside whistle comes on the break-in for Charlotte. And they'll have to move the puck back out for a neutral zone face-off. It was Tyler Briggs a little bit late getting in with the puck that caused that issue for the Niner offense. And it'll be Kramer out for the face-off again for UNC. Wins it to the middle where he's got Reese. Picks it up at his own blue line. Gains the red line, avoids the check and dumps it deep. Back behind the net, it'll be settled by Smith. Pressure put on by the Tar Heel PK. Gerasimo with it for Charlotte. Back to the middle and sent straight up, looking for an open man in Jones, but that one's off his stick And Carolina clears it back in. They've done an excellent job killing off this major penalty so far. Under 2 minutes left on it. The 49ers, I'm not even sure they have a shot, just a couple. Worden, of course, with one early on this period on the man advantage. Back behind the net, out in front, it's loose and nobody there to put it on goal. And it will be cleared out by Kramer. He's got speed down the far wing. He'll be forced into the boards where he loses the puck in front of his own bench, cleared back down by Charlotte. 1:10 left on the penalty. Behind his own net, Oliveira will clear it down. And a chance here for Friedman as Smith steers it into the near corner. Friedman, the first there for the Tar Heels. 1 minute left on the kill. 17 minutes left in the second period. And a 1-0 lead for Charlotte. Moving forward, Worden, centering pass. Slowly trickles through. One-timer for Miller into the near corner, right to Richard. And Richard will knock it out and kill more time. Smith stops it behind his own net. Backhands it to Gerasimu. He'll be ridden down on the near boards, and he is down on the ice. And we'll get another stoppage. That was another play along the near boards. Tough to see from down here in the corner. It doesn't appear that we're going to get a penalty. But another Charlotte 49er slow to get up. And that looks like it was Gerasimu who had carried it back behind, who was put down on the ice. Either way, he's up and okay. And we will restart. 35 seconds left on the man advantage for Charlotte. 16:33 to go in the period. And still a 1-goal advantage for the visitors. An offensive zone faceoff, though, for UNC. To the near left side of Colin Smith. The Niners win it, quickly breaking it out. At the red line, they'll knock it off the boards and in. Icing waved off as Eric Jones, got to it in time. Rebound out in front and a sliding save by Douthit. Worden had a chance from the goal line far side, and he couldn't get it over the glove of Douthit. That's a big save for the UNC netminder. Hasn't seen a whole lot of action in this one, but he's been ready whenever he has. Off the faceoff. Controlled loosely by the Tar Heels. They'll force it out of the zone, and now Whelan moves forward through the neutral zone. He'll get it deep. That should effectively finish off this penalty for the Tar Heels as we hit the 16-minute mark, and we're back to full strength. So a 5-minute major goes without a goal for Charlotte, but they've got a chance coming here just as it ends. Eric Jones throws it to the middle, and Miller steers it wide on the near side. Miller back, gets out in front. Getting tall is Douthit. He knocks it away. And that is a big push from the UNC goaltender. He had to step up, get tall after being crouched to seal off that near post on a great move out in front by Andrew Miller. 15:42 to go. Again, we're back to even strength. And an offensive zone faceoff for Charlotte. Worden against Kramer. Kramer wins it to the far boards, chasing it down Oliveira, and he'll lift it up and out, and it'll be caught by a coach on the Charlotte bench. So an offensive zone faceoff coming for the 49ers. And those of you who may be wondering as NHL fans why that's not a delay of game penalty, that is not a penalty here in the ACCHL, so we stay even strength. Thrown at the net, a one-timer off the faceoff, floats just high off the stick of Michael Ray. That was a dangerous chance for the 49ers. Moving back out, thrown cross ice by Kramer, looking for Reese off the boards. He couldn't track it down. 49ers move it back in. Worden pokes it around Oliveira. He'll track it down behind the net with speed. Out in front, the one-timer goes wide for Andrew Miller. And it'll be tracked down by Jones for the 49ers in the far corner. He loses it to Reese. The clearance stopped up at the blue line. Loose in the high slot. Jones comes away with it. Backhand pass to Worden. Left for Miller, and he couldn't connect. Puck squirts loose into the corner. Reese comes away with it. Flips it out of the zone, but not much further than that as it's gloved down and controlled by Tyler Briggs. He gets knocked off the puck, and UNC will clear it deep. Tar Heels get a change as they look to implement the forecheck with a long change period here in the second. Charlotte bringing it back up the ice, missing the hip check was Richard. He did knock the puck loose, though. Noah Friedman will move it down the near boards. Can't get much farther than the hash marks, and Charlotte on the counter. Moving back in, it's Bennett Terrata. And a huge collision in front of the net. It looked like Beeler lost his footing and slid straight in to Douthit. And that will draw the whistle as the net comes off. And a good showing of understanding from the Tar Heels. In hockey, a lot of times, if your goaltender gets run into, it doesn't matter if it's an accident or not. Someone will be there in your face. The Tar Heels saw that as an innocent accident, and so no incident after the play. The faceoff will come out of the zone on the near side, just on top of the UNC blue line. Kramer to take the faceoff against Von Beeler. They'll fight for it right on the faceoff dot. UNC knocks it backwards. They'll control. Up the middle, it's Kramer on the breakout. Has a man trailing him, pestering him, poked away at the defense, and a chance to turn it back up for the 49ers. Terrata slaps one in from the point. Padded away by Douthit. Forced up the near boards, held in by the defense of Charlotte. And a great play by Salfia to the far slot, and the shot swallowed up and covered by Douthit. A chance from the far hashes in on the slot for Bennett Terrata. But Douthit shuts it down. 13:52 left in period number 2. And Charlotte slowly starting to tilt the tables. They do have the lead, but it's been mostly UNC with the offensive opportunities. Centering pass to the slot, deflected away. Well defended in front by Jackson Thomas of the Tar Heel defense. He'll get control in the near corner on the dump in. Takes a hit to clear it out. And he finds an open teammate in Carlson. Back to the middle. Can't find his intended target. Along the near boards, it comes to Carlson again. Cleared out, but not very far. Shoveled back in by Salfia. And UNC pokes it along behind their net. Daniel Jones up the far boards. Knocked off the glass and out by UNC's Carlson. Through the neutral zone, he gets it deep. It'll be tracked down by Briggs and cleared up the center. Jones there for UNC. Knocked back, deflected in by Friedman at the blue line to avoid icing. Charlotte, gets it behind their own net. Up for Miller. Left on the sideboards, nobody there to take it. And the Tar Heels have it again. Looking to get it in front. Nothing doing. Charlotte bringing it back out. Gerasimu gains the red line, gets it deep. Miller in on the forecheck against Oliveira. Knocks him down as they go for the puck. And another hit away from the play. Now a slashing call coming on the Tar Heels as Richard lost his cool and got a piece of the helmet of Miller. They have some words and clear things up before Richard heads to the box, but another power play for Charlotte. That was an important theme last week, both Richmond and UNC with a pair of power play goals in that game, and the difference in this game right now is a power play goal as well. So 2 minutes up on the board for a minor high sticking penalty on Matt Richard. PK1 out there for UNC. Reese and Kramer, the forwards, along with Oliveira and Graham Karen, and it's deflected in from the point. The shot came off the stick of Patrick Salfia, and it looked like Worden got a deflection in front. No chance for Douthit, and it's 2-0 Charlotte. Well, that's the difference right now. Too many penalties for the Tar Heels as the lead doubles with 12:28 to go in the period. Off the center eye face-off. Charlotte controls. Moved into the near corner. Daniel Jones in control for UNC. Knocked off the puck. It'll be possessed by Eric Jones. Out in front. Tipped down to the high slot. Slapper goes wide. Off the stick of Tyler Briggs from the center point. Sent back in front from the far corner by Jones. No one there to put it on. Back in front. Briggs gets a shot on goal. Short rebound. Swallowed up and covered by Douthit And we'll get another defensive zone face-off for the Tar Heels. Well, so we have a break. Again, we're going to give a shout-out to Town Hall Burger and Beer in Durham, where they are live streaming today's UNC hockey game. If you can't get out here to the Orange County Sportsplex, be sure to stop by, enjoy a burger and a beer at Town Hall, and watch the UNC hockey game. 12 minutes to go in the period. Face-off won by UNC, cleared up the near boards, glove down at the defense, and held in momentarily by Charlotte. Eventually enough manpower over there for the Tar Heels to get it out. 49ers bring it right back. Shot blocked, and the rebound slapped on goal. Douthit ready for it as he stops the slapper from Miller. And we'll get another face-off right here in front of Will Douthit and the Chapel Hill net. Off the face-off, taken back behind by Daniel Jones. Fans on the pass, almost sent back out in front by Jones. Now it is there, and a pad save made by Douthit on Miller. Miller takes some pressure from Beeson, knocks him down. In comes Friedman. He's knocked to the ice as well. And now Miller slow getting back to the bench after taking a couple of hits. We've got a hand up behind the play, so a penalty coming. And another man advantage. This is not what what UNC was looking for after giving up that power play goal. Friedman to the box. And another 2 minutes on the man up for Charlotte. Face off again to the near right side of Will Douthit. Kramer up against Beeler for Charlotte. Kramer wins it forward, gets a stick to the puck, and slides it down the ice out of his net. Colin Smith will swipe it back up. Kramer at the red line, swings it deep again. Well, one thing you have to give this UNC power play, or penalty kill, credit for, as there have been a couple of really nice kills. Of course, give up the early goal on the last power play, but they killed off a 5-minute major to start this period, which has kept them in this hockey game. Centering pass, deflects out into the slot. The one-timer is blocked in front by Oliveira. Terada couldn't get much behind that one. And Charlotte resets the power play. 1:20 to go on the man advantage. On a cardinal sin on the power play, icing on Charlotte. They did that a couple times on that 5-minute man-up situation. We'll see what UNC can generate off an offensive zone faceoff down a man. 10:39 to go in the period. 1:15 left on the power play for Charlotte, trying to add to a 2-0 lead. Far corner faceoff. That'll be Regan knocking it into the far corner for UNC, just looking to kill some time off the power play clock. Behind the net, it'll be scooped forward by Briggs, out to neutral ice and slapped right back in by Graham Karen. Collected behind the net by Gerasimu. Moved along to the blue line, stalled out there. Good work from Regan to force that one back deep into the Charlotte end. And they've killed off a good 30 seconds without Charlotte getting across the red line. Now they will, and they'll get it deep into the near corner. Sidestepping a check is Shriver, and he'll be knocked down behind the play, wrestled with by Regan, and Miller in control. Circling into the near corner, he'll take a hit from Beeson as he swipes it around the boards. On the near side, it's cleared all the way down and out by Graham Karen for the UNC penalty kill. They'll take advantage of the deep clearance to get 3 new penalty killers out on the ice. Matt Richards still out there for the UNC penalty kill. Through the middle, Gerasimu. Weak dump in will be collected and cleared back out by Daniel Jones. That should finish off the Charlotte power play as it expires. Friedman steps back onto the ice for UNC. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. There's Friedman picking off the centering pass. Down the near wing into the zone. Centers it. Sticked away by Smith. Loose in the slot. The shot is blocked. Still there. Pad save made by Smith on the shot from the high slot. And it'll be knocked into the near corner. Golden opportunities galore for the Tar Heels. Another chance in front, and it'll be deflected into the far corner. Jones throws it towards the goal again. Loose on the far side. Scooped back out in front. Jones top of the circle. A pad save made by Smith. Couple of great chances again for UNC. back to full strength. They're amping up the pressure. In control, near corner. Friedman knocked off the puck, gets it back. 8:40 to go in the period. To the near point. Swung towards the goal by Whelan. Couldn't get it on frame. And now it'll be deflected off of the shoulder of Smith in front. Should be an offensive zone face-off for UNC after that shot from Daniel Jones. 8:34 left in period number 2. It was a power play goal late in the first that opened the scoring for Charlotte. They doubled that lead with another power play goal about 7.5 minutes into this second period on a deflection from Chase Worden. 8:30 now left in the period. Moving forward down the near boards. Charlotte gets it out through the neutral zone quickly. Pitchforked into the far corner by number 77, Bennett Terada. Back to the point. One-timer from Briggs ends up behind the net. Terada again tries to force it out in front from the back post, and he'll be denied. Match Richard breaks it out himself, finds speed, cuts to the middle through the neutral zone, and fans on the slap shot from the top of the zone. It skitters behind the goal. Far corner, UNC pressuring on the forecheck. Nice hit in the corner, jars it loose. Richard, top of the circle, cuts to the slot. Wrist one's on goal. Stave made by Smith. Another stop, and he'll dive on the rebound. Well, you're starting to see that frustration on the UNC side of the ice. They've been all over Smith in the last couple of minutes, and they just can't find the back of the net. Zach Nodden looked a little bit frustrated, dropped his stick in frustration after that last play. Kind of, it seemed like an expression of, what the heck else do I need to do to get this past Colin Smith? 7:48 to go. Shutout still intact for Charlotte, leading 2-0. They'll win it forward, does Worden off the defensive zone faceoff. Can't keep control, and Friedman rips a quick wrister from the far circle. Again, Smith there to make the save, and another offensive zone faceoff for the Tar Heels. Again, it will be Friedman up against Worden. And Worden wins that battle once again, but Charlotte again can't get it out. Saved in on the near point. Down in the corner, thrown out in front. And it's immediately swallowed up by the goaltender Colin Smith. 7:34 now left in the period. Play continues to be mostly at the right end of the rink right now. UNC, after killing off the penalty to Friedman, has cranked up the energy, and their forecheck has been spectacular. Charlotte struggling just to control the puck into the neutral zone. And you're seeing it again. Nice poke check from Beeson. Friedman tries to track it down on the far boards. He's late to the party, and now Charlotte has a chance to move forward. Andrew Miller, one of the goal scorers for the 49ers today, wrists one from outside the blue line at the top of his paint. Colin Douthit gloves it and holds for another faceoff. Well, eventually you've got to think that these goals are going to start falling for the Tar Heels. That's just the nature of hockey. If you put enough pucks towards the net, you get a little bit of what we like to call puck luck. Get that right bounce, and it ends up behind Colin Smith, but that's what it's going to take to score on him the way he's playing right now. Shot in front, blocked by Jones, who went down to a knee nicely to make that play. Still loose in the far corner. They'll battle for it. Terada there for Charlotte. Has it stolen away. Poked up to Patrick Kramer. Along the sideboards, he gets it back. Kramer in alone, and he shoots it just wide. As Smith looked like he was a little bit deep in his crease there and left some opening in that top right corner. Kramer just missed it. 6.5 to go in the period now. Loose in front, chasing it down. Ben Reese knocks it back behind the net. He'll corral it there. Pressured by Eric Jones. Into the near corner, they'll scrum for it. Pinned up against the boards, there are a trio of players from each side. Looked like it was going to pop loose to Kramer. Couldn't get control of it, and it's back pinned up against the boards once again. Finally, it pops out. A chance here for Jones. High slot. Throws it to the near post, but he couldn't connect with Reese. Back out in front. Kramer's shot is blocked by the defense and cleared out to center ice by Charlotte. UNC trying to keep it from getting too deep in their own end. They'd like to avoid A change from Charlotte. Bad change from the 49ers. They're left at disadvantage for a moment, and UNC gets it deep. They'll look to set up a possession in the offensive zone. Under 6 to play in the second period now. Centering pass stolen away by Patrick Salfia. Plenty of space to move forward on the near wing. Wrist shot blocked at the top of the near circle, and Beeson clears it back to the point. Miller's there to save it in. Throws it off the stick of Worden. The deflection knocked away by Douthit in goal. Down to the goal line, Worden, the captain looking. Back to the point, Miller. Cross ice, he finds an open teammate. Wrist shot's weak by Ray, and it's blocked in front. And now Adamson looking to clear it out. He steers it up the boards, and now it's Beeson moving forward. Beeson, far wing, wrist one just wide of the near post. Out with a great angle on it was Colin Smith. Beeson working in the near corner on Jones. Takes the puck away, loses it right back, forces it in front, and it's slapped just wide again. Tar Heels close, but not quite on every good chance they've had so far. 4:50 to go in the period. Moved along for Noah Friedman. He'll lift it in behind the net. Stopped up by Smith. Caught out of position for a moment, but the defense of Charlotte able to stall that attack out and let him get back to position. Worden behind his own net. Circling into the corner. Stops looking for a teammate. Takes a hit from Friedman as he slides it behind to Gerasimu. He's pinned along the boards. Battling with Beeson there. And he'll leave it for Tyler Briggs. Briggs with speed, cuts to the middle, through the neutral zone, and he'll move down the near wing. Wrists one off the side of the net, and it'll be stuck behind the goal. Oliveira gets to it, rings it around the boards, up to the far point. Held in there by Shriver. Wrists one on goal, and a glove save made by Douthit. Saw that one all the way, no trouble for the netminder in the Tar Heel goal today. And it'll be another face-off on his left to that far circle for Charlotte. We've seen a little bit more even play through this period. But again, a lot of that has to do with the penalties that UNC continues to take. They've disadvantaged themselves with the amount of penalty minutes they've had to kill off. Deflected, trickles in front. Save made by Douthit. Loose still as he's on his back. It deflects out to the high slot, and it'll be swung in by Terada. A scramble in front. Douthit couldn't get back square, and Terada throws it underneath him and in for the third goal. That is the first even strength tally for Charlotte today. Their last two, of course, coming on the man advantage. Back to center ice will restart play. Worden up against Kramer. Charlotte wins the face-off and immediately send it down for an icing call. And as we have this quick break, we do want to remind you that we have less than a week till the next broadcast here for Carolina hockey, as they will face off against rival Duke at 8:45 p.m. Wednesday, October 16th, so just a few days away. We'd love to have you out here at the Orange County Sportsplex in person for the game, but if you can't make it, be sure to tune in to the Carolina Hockey YouTube page for the live stream. UNC setting up an attack here with under 4 to go. Swung in front, and Smith is there to deflect it into the near corner. UNC and Charlotte scrumming in that near corner. Got it pinned up against the boards. Both teams trying to knock it loose, and it will be Charlotte eventually shoving it out of the zone. At the red line, it'll be backhanded back in by Adamson, where Charlotte can possess again out into the neutral zone. Tripped up on the play was Kramer, and we've got a hand up. Looks like UNC will get another power play. An interference call with 3:04 left in the second. This is really a must score or a must convert power play, we'll say, for your Tar Heels, as one of the leaders defensively for Charlotte heads to the box. Patrick Salfia will take 2 minutes to think about his interference call as UNC sets up for a face-off in the near circle in the offensive zone. Kramer to take it. Once again up against the Niner captain and Chase Weirden. And it's one back to the point. Slapper deflects just wide off the stick of Oliveira. Still UNC in control. Kramer quarterbacking from the far side boards. Drops it behind for Friedman. Back along to the point for Oliveira. Swings one towards the goal. It deflects off of Smith and back to the far corner. Weaving through the defense, Kramer. Nowhere to go with it. Drops it to the point for Richard. Back in front. Low slot. They score. Great feed from Kramer. And Reese slips it underneath Colin Smith. They finally beat the netminder for Charlotte. And it's 3-1 on a power play goal. Well, it took only a minute and 25 seconds for UNC to even it up. And that will finish off the power play. And we're back to even strength. 3-1 now the score. We'll see what kind of momentum that goal helps the Tar Heels build. They now trail 3-1 late in the second period behind their own net. Oliveira breaking it out, cross ice pass to the near side boards for Mason Regan. Regan gains the red line, gets it deep. Shoveled back behind the net by Josh Carlson. In the near corner, swept again behind the cage. UNC looking to gain control, but the Charlotte defense not giving them any time. Cleared out by Miller to neutral ice, and UNC will reset. 2:05 to go in the period. Jones. Clearance knocked down by the stick of Miller. He's got a wide open man in front, and Eric Jones finds a trailer, and Worden wasn't able to connect with the one-timer. UNC back out. A deflected pass will wave off icing, giving chase. Josh Carlson forces it back behind the Charlotte net. They'll battle along the near sideboards with under 2 to go. It's forced loose. Charlotte takes control. Worden controlling, and the slot in his own zone. Finally finds his way out of pressure. Pass up the middle, stolen away by Carlson. And he's able to get it deep only momentarily. Charlotte clears it out once again. Jones retreating back to his own goal line. Plays it up the middle, finds an open teammate in Carlson. Swept to the near boards. Noah Friedman with speed. Dragging around one man. He's tripped up, and play will continue. And it looked like Charlotte did get a stick to the puck before that trip, which might be why you don't get the whistle. And we continue at even strength. Looped out of the zone. Jones at center ice. Gloves it down, clears it in. Under a minute to play in the second period. Carolina trailing Charlotte 3-1. From the far corner, stepping out in front, Friedman fires one towards goal. Can't put it on frame. And Charlotte a chance to break it out, a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Moving forward, Terada. He's already got one today into the far corner. Looks to sweep it in front. It's deflected, weakly rolling out. And Daniel Jones sends it off the near boards and down the ice. Charlotte looking to move back forward. Kramer picks off the pass in neutral ice. He'll clear it deep with under 30 to go. Behind the net, Colin Smith sets it on a tee for his defenseman, Salfia, who shovels it up the near boards. UNC not allowing this one out. They'll pin it in that near corner. 12 seconds to go. They've got to get it loose soon. They do. Shot on goal by Kramer, and it will be swallowed up again by Colin Smith. And one of the best parts of his game so far today has been Smith's ability to control those rebounds. There haven't been many other than the ones that UNC has intended to be kicked out into the slot that he's had trouble with the rebounds. It's either been right in front of him where he can control it. He's been able to either deflect it into the corner or just completely gobble it up and stop the play. And that's a big reason why UNC hasn't put any more points up on the board. They haven't been able to keep it in that danger area. UNC unable to get an opportunity at the end of the period. Clock runs out. Well, Charlotte got off to a fast start in the period of another power play goal, and then Terada made it 3-0 late in the period, but it only took Carolina about a minute and a half to respond. The last goal, Reese on the power play from Kramer. Just a 2-goal lead for Charlotte as we head to the final 20 minutes. We'll be right back here in Hillsboro.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, UNCHockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
Tar Hill Newsbeat reports on the local stories in our town. Everything from sushi and BLTs to the makers and volunteers who are investing in making our town a better place to live. You'll find Tar Heel Newsbeat in the streaming channels section of your Roku.
News and weather for the untethered.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, UNCHockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
The day's top trending topics, local weather, world news, and since we all enjoy a little recreation time, City Newsbeat streams human interest stories, entertainment news, science and space stories, food recipes, cocktail recipes, even horoscopes. Go to the search channel section and tap in Newsbeat on the keyboard, then open the app. Without any more work on your part, the local stories of the day begin to play. Try City Newsbeat. News and weather for the untethered.
Welcome back to the Orange County Sportsplex. We're at the second intermission between the UNC Tar Heels and the Charlotte 49ers. A 3-0 lead for the Niners right now. Now joined by defenseman Daniel Jones of the Tar Heels. Daniel, you finally get on the board with that power play goal late. How big was it to see Freeze put that one home?
Yeah, it was definitely good we've been moving well out here. Good for that to pay off. Got a power play there. Keep going at him in the third period. So definitely good to get that one on the board.
And it seems like special teams has been very important in this game. You guys in particular have had to do a lot of killing. What does that mean to be able to kill off, for the most part, all of those power plays? You give up a couple, but considering the number that you've had to kill, it seems like you guys have done a pretty good job defending.
Yeah, of course you never want to be in that position, but we've done a pretty good job not letting them have an easy time getting to our zone or in the neutral zone. We've done well with that. That's probably the biggest thing, is not letting them set up. And we have been letting them set up, just being strong on their sticks and getting pucks out of our zone when we can.
And it certainly also has seemed like you guys have done a pretty good job at even strength of keeping the pressure up, getting some chances, but the netminder, Colin Smith, has really made it hard on you guys. How do you beat him in the third period and get back even?
Bodies in front of him. That caused him a lot of problems in the first period, and we were doing a good job of that. But that's how we scored our goal down there, is have a bunch of bodies in front of him, so we'll keep doing that.
Chris Lehman alongside Daniel Jones of the Tar Heels. One last question for you, Daniel. We'll have a little fun here with your name. As you do have a game coming up against the Blue Devils on Wednesday. You guys have already beaten them once. How is it being a Daniel Jones, the same name as the former quarterback for the Blue Devils, and you score a goal against them nonetheless?
Yeah. I get a lot of comments around that, and you know, everybody who says something about that thinks you're the first person to say something about that. So you know, I let them have their fun with it. So.
All right, Daniel, thanks for joining us here at the second intermission. We'll let you get back to the locker room. Good luck in the last 20 minutes.
Thank you.
All right, that's Daniel Jones of the Tar Heels. We'll take a quick break. Back with Puck Drop for the third period. UNC trailing Charlotte 3-1.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, UNCHockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
Tar Heel Newsbeat reports on the local stories in our town. Everything from sushi and BLTs to the makers and volunteers who are investing in making our town a better place to live. You'll find Tar Heel Newsbeat in the streaming channels section of your Roku.
News and weather for the untethered.
From the reserves of Topo Organic Distillery in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, comes 8 Oak Whiskey, aged with the heads already removed on 8 different chars of American and French oak. Topo's 8 Oak Whiskey, limited reserves at all ABC stores. From the reserves of Topo Organic Distillery in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, comes 8 Oak Whiskey, aged with the heads already removed on 8 different chars of American and French oak. Topo's 8 Oak Whiskey, limited reserves at all ABC stores.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, UNCHockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
Tar Heel Newsbeat reports on the local stories in our town. Everything from sushi and BLTs to the makers and volunteers who are investing in making our town a better place to live. You'll find Tar Heel Newsbeat in the streaming channels section of your Roku.
News and weather for the untethered.
From the reserves of Topo Organic Distillery in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, comes 8 Oak Whiskey, aged with the heads already removed on 8 different chars of American and French oak. Topo's 8 Oak Whiskey, limited reserves at all ABC stores.
Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, unchockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
The day's top trending topics, local weather, world news, and since we all enjoy a little recreation time, City Newsbeat streams human interest stories, entertainment news, science and space stories, food recipes, cocktail recipes, even horoscopes. Go to the search channel section and tap in Newsbeat on the keyboard, then open the app. Without any more work on your part, the local stories of the day begin to play. Try City Newsbeat. News and weather for the untethered.
"40 minutes down, 20 to go here at the Orange County Sportsplex, home of your UNC Tar Heels ice hockey team. They trail the Charlotte 49ers 3-1 as we head to the third period. They did fall behind 3-0. A pair of power play goals from Andrew Miller and Chase Worden put the Niners up to nothing late in the second period. A loose puck in front swept home by Bennett Tarada made it 3-0. UNC picked up a power play shortly after that, and very quickly it was the Tar Heels finally getting on the board. Ben Reese from Patrick Kramer with 2:28 to go in the period. So that's where we stand now. We do have one more injury update for you, as the 49ers did let us know that McCarthy is in concussion protocol, so likely dealing with a concussion along with that cut that he suffered on the hit late in the first period. This is a very short-handed 49ers squad already. They'll get things started with the pressure on in their offensive zone. Far corner, it's Worden. Backhanded behind the net, scooped up by Jones. Thrown in front from the point by Salfia. And it slips behind the goal where UNC can start out. Gaining speed through his own zone, and down to the Charlotte blue line is Oliveira. He's stalled out there, but he's got a teammate to help him out and get it deep. Back behind the net, collected by Ray. Michael Ray up the near boards. It'll bounce out where UNC takes control in neutral ice. Our second intermission guest, Daniel Jones, sends it back in. UNC on the forecheck. Nice poke check in the slot by number 18, Graham Karen. Couldn't get control, and Charlotte moves it back out. Slapper blockered into the far corner by Douthit. UNC working it up the far side boards. Pinned there and knocked back in by Shriver for Charlotte. Jones clears it out, moves it forward, knocks down a man as he gets it deep. And now it will be knocked back behind the Charlotte goal. Briggs in control for Charlotte. Swept around the boards, out of the reach of Gerasimu to Shriver, and it will be deflected further. Moving along the far wing, Beeler. Stalled out there, poked out of the zone. Carolina moving forward. Tripped up on the play was Beeson. The play will continue, no whistle. Carolina moving it behind the net. Circling is Friedman. Swings it in front. High rebound, poked to the far corner, where it'll be tracked down and cleared out by Beeler. Doesn't get it all the way out, though. High slot, faking the shot was Jones. Looked for a call as he got hit on the hands, and now we will have a hand up. So UNC sends Douthit to the bench. Man-up situation coming with the delayed penalty and a miscommunication between Regan and Richard. Sends this one out of the zone. It's tracked down, and we'll have a cross-checking penalty coming up on Charlotte. Looks like the guilty party will be the forward Von Beeler. 2 minutes for cross-checking and another great chance on the power play for UNC. Now, they've spent more time killing penalties than trying to score on them tonight. But this is a very important one, just over 2 minutes into the third. A chance to cut that 3-1 lead in half. It's won backwards by Worden of Charlotte into the far corner. Adamson battling there with Salfia. Adamson gets it back to the point for Oliveira. He'll shovel it deep. Again, Adamson throws it through the crease. It looked like it deflected off of Reese, through the legs of Smith and across the goal line. Never went in, though. And, well, we'll have a deflection out of play on the clearance from Charlotte in neutral ice. And this one will stay in the neutral zone, it would appear. So this one will be just outside of the UNC zone. 1:41 left on the power play for the Tar Heels, with 17:20 to go in the game. Worden to take the faceoff for Charlotte up against Kramer. Worden wins it forward, but right to a Tar Heel. Oliveira, a backhand pass to the middle of the ice. Couldn't connect with Adamson. Stolen away by Worden. Fans on the clearance and has to drop it back where the 49ers airmail it down the ice. So that'll kill off more time. 1:20 left on the power play clock. In the near corner, UNC defense in control. They'll get it out, but they can't possess, and it's turned right back by Worden. Into the zone. Forces it deep out of his net. Douthit pokes it into the far corner. Worden tracks it down for the Charlotte power play or penalty kill. Only able to stall it out there. Now a chance with speed moving forward for UNC. It's Kramer. Throws one towards the goal. It's off a stick and over the frame. And back to the near point. Slapped back in by Richard. He's got an open man in Carlson. Sent to the front. It'll deflect just wide on the near side. Kramer backhands it back in front. And Mason Regan can't put it on goal. The clearance ringing around the glass ends up in the netting off the stick of Tyler Briggs. So another offensive zone faceoff for UNC with 42 seconds left on this man advantage. We have 16:21 left in the game. Still plenty of time for the Tar Heels to tie this thing up. They need a couple, and one on the power play here would be huge. Regan to take the face-off up against Shriver. He wins it backwards, back to the point for Carlson. He'll switch places with Jones. To the near side, looking for Friedman, but it's broken up by Briggs. Now Friedman in the near corner. Centers it into the slot, and they score. It's off the stick of Regan, and in on the far side, it's Daniel Jones picking up his first of the night, and UNC on the power play makes it 3-2. Well, that, as I mentioned, is important, and it can't be overstated how important that was. Early goal in the period. Tar Heels have the momentum, down by just one. They'll press immediately off the faceoff, pinning it back behind the Charlotte net. They break it out. Shriver, skate to stick, finds a teammate to clear it out. And that was the penalized man in Beeler who was in the box for that goal. UNC forced to retreat in front of his own goal. Ill-advised play by Whelan, but he avoids the trouble And now he'll pick it up in the near corner. Sweeps it up the boards. It'll take a carom off a stanchion and out. Sent right back in by Shriver. And it's collected behind the net. The Tar Heels with speed. Jones weaving through traffic around Worden. Tosses it cross ice back to the near side. Looking for an open teammate in Adamson. Adamson forces a man off the puck. Friedman comes in and backhands it off the shoulder of Smith. Another great chance for UNC. Back behind the net. It'll be controlled by Cody Andriano. Knocked off the puck by Friedman. Bad angle shot from Adamson. Is shouldered away again by Smith. And we've got some extracurriculars after the play. There was some shoving away from the puck between Adriano and Friedman. They've got some words for each other back behind the net. But things will simmer down. There was a penalty on the play. And because the puck was pretty much loose during that sequence, I'm not sure who they've called it on quite yet. It will be an elbow. And it will be number 27, Cody Andriano for Charlotte, that heads to the box. Also get a matching penalty, though, for Noah Friedman. And will be 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. And with this break, just a quick heads up that we do have our first coaches show of the year. It'll be hosted this Thursday from 7 to 7:30 at the Tobacco Road Sports Cafe in Chapel Hill. I'll be joined, of course, by head coach Jeff Volkman, as well as Hall of Fame former voice of the Carolina Hurricanes, Chuck Caton, joining us in Chapel Hill on Thursday. Of course, that will come a day after the contest here in Orange County against the Duke Blue Devils. That game set for puck drop at 8:45 on Wednesday. So a busy week for UNC hockey midweek as we resume play 4-on-4 for these two teams. Under 15 to play, just a 1-goal lead after the goal from Daniel Jones here early in the period on a power play. Salfia, far point, soft one, tossed in on goal, slips away from Douthit, and he was well out of his goal. Fortunately, no 49er there to sweep it in. The closest was Miller, and he couldn't get it out in front. Now it's Worden from the near slot, and he'll miss wide on that far side. Scooped up and into the corner. Worden backhands it back in. 49ers in control right now. UNC being forced to chase. They'll try and push it up and out on the near boards, but it won't get all the way out, and it's cleared back behind. Collected by Karen. Graham Karen to the near side. Has an open teammate in Oliveira with speed and space through the middle. Kramer, far wing, wrist shot goes wide. It will deflect behind the net and around to the near sideboards. Pushed up by Ray. And now furthered by Worden, who will dump it all the way out and in on goal. Douthit forced to play it. Can't find Oliveira. Stolen away by Charlotte. The centering pass has no one there. And UNC a chance to break out. Stumbling to the ice was Richard. He'll go down. And a penalty on Charlotte, but we'll have to wait. Richard ended up tripping up Beeler on that play as well. We'll see if they send him also, but it looks like it will just be Beeler. Actually, it'll be 77, not 74, headed to the box. So that is Bennett Terrata, who is in for 2 more minutes. And 40 seconds of a 4-on-3 here for the Tar Heels. A great chance to get another power play goal. And 4 of the 5 goals scored today have come on the power play. UNC wins the faceoff. High slot, wrist shot just wide for Jones. He's already got one this period. And the puck cleared out. All the way down, it trickles to Will Douthit. He'll hand it off for Jones. Sets things up behind his own cage. With space, he'll move forward. 4-on-3 for 20 more seconds. Pass in the skates of UNC's Adamson. And that will skitter all the way down the ice as Tyler Briggs takes control and clears it. Just 10 seconds left on the 4-on-3. It'll still be a man advantage for about a minute and a half for the Tar Heels as the coincidental minors will expire. Jones, top of the near circle, wrist one toward goal, stopped by Briggs in front, thrown on goal from the high slot. The rebound's poked home by Friedman. Out of the box, he puts it home, and we're tied at 3, 7 minutes into the third. And I think what we're starting to see is the 49ers wear out. Their bench was short to begin with the injuries they've had this season. And now they're starting to wear down as the game wears on. Exactly 13 minutes to go. Friedman now with 2 points on the evening. He assisted on that last goal by Jones. It is the third power play goal for the Tar Heels in this game. We're knotted at 3, and we're still not quite to the halfway point of period 3. Gerasimo to the far boards, moved up for Jones. He'll swing it deep. Behind his net, Douthit sets it on a tee. Rolled around the far boards, shoveled along, and we've got a hand pass on Charlotte as the defenseman had to stoop down to a knee to keep it in, and this faceoff will come out of the zone. And this is a period where head coach Jeff Volkman might want to keep these shifts short, keep these guys fresh, because Charlotte, as we mentioned, is starting to wear down, and UNC definitely has an advantage in manpower on the bench. They'll get it deep off the faceoff. Near corner, Regan chasing. It'll be swept around to Eric Jones. He takes a hit, trying to clear. Saved at the point by Karen. And now a chance for the Tar Heels, trying for their first lead of the game. Regan sweeps it behind from the near corner. Far side, it's Friedman back behind the goal. Backhand pass out in front. And nobody there to finish the pass from Carlson. Charlotte gets it out in neutral ice. UNC back in control. Carlson to the middle, off the stick of Regan. Friedman gets to the loose puck on the far boards. His clearance is blocked, and Charlotte takes control at the red line. Backtracking is Miller. He finds Gerasimo. Move forward, and the pass deflected and taken back by the Tar Heels. With speed, moving forward. Adamson rips one just wide, and Miller comes back to it. He'll backpedal into his own zone. Sweeps it out along the near boards, gets it past Reese and out. But Reese coming back, sweeping poke check, knocks it to the far side. Still loose in front of the Charlotte bench. Taken away by the Tar Heels. A chance, quick 2-on-1. Wrist shot off the glove of Smith by Reese. And it will stay tied at 3. Rebound picked up along the far boards. Gerasimo moving forward to the center of the ice. He's got Miller cutting to the far side. Backhander goes over the glove of Douthit and wide. 11-10 to go in this contest. Middle of the ice, it's Beeler. He'll weave forward, wrists one over the top of the goal, catches the glass behind, and they'll fight for it in the near corner. Behind his own goal, Wieland circles back up the near board, stolen away. Charlotte keeping it in the offensive zone to the front of the net, knocked off the puck, and we've got a hand pass as Beeler had that one tied up in his jersey, and as he was knocked down, he kind of inadvertently tossed the puck to a teammate in Shriver. And now the officials will talk about it because it was sort of an odd play. There was no exact batting motion from Beeler. And as a result, the officials will elect to keep this face-off in the UNC zone. Beeler will take the face-off against Noah Friedman for UNC. With 10:47 to go in the game. One to the middle. Backhand try from Miller is denied at the defense, or Shriver, pardon me, is denied. And UNC gets it out of the zone, but not much further. Taken in neutral ice by Beeler. Has trouble corralling it. Oliveira now gets it deep for the Tar Heels. It will squirt back behind the net. And Briggs moves it back up the near boards. Bad receipt of the pass by Tirana, taken by Friedman. To the slot, the pad save made by Smith. Great chance there for John Beeson. Behind the net, again, it's Friedman. Out in front, too many Niner defenders there, and they'll clear it out. A chance in transition. Tirana moving with speed on Oliveira. Cuts to the middle. Another defender back in. Richard has no stick, but that's not going to matter as a bad angle shot from the near side swallowed up by Douthit. No rebound given. And we'll have a defensive zone face-off for your Tar Heels here. We're at the halfway point of the third period. 2 goals in the first 7 minutes of this frame for UNC have tied the game up at 3. They get it out right off the face-off, and they'll move forward. They've got numbers if they move quickly. On the top of the far circle, it's whistled wide by Kramer. Kept in the zone at the point. From the center of the zone, it goes home. A wrist shot beats Smith. 3 straight for the Tar Heels here in the third, and they lead it 4-3 with 9:49 to go. This time, it's number 18, Graham Karen, who finishes for the Tar Heels. Well, that one comes just 3 minutes and 11 seconds after Friedman tied it up on the power play. And UNC with their first lead of the game. Back to center ice for the faceoff. That is the first even strength goal for UNC here in this one, and they're going to look for another one. Big hit on Regan by Ray will shut down that attack, and now we've got a penalty on Charlotte. And Ray a little bit puzzled. That happened quickly, so it was tough to tell. It looks like we'll get a kneeing call on Ray. I think he thought he got a good hip check in there. And defensively, you got to give him credit for shutting that down. Regan took a big blow trying to get through there, and even though you take the penalty, maybe at least you send a message if you're the 49er defense that they're just going to roll over here in the third. However, they now have a 2-minute man advantage to kill off as Ray heads to the box. Kramer wins it forward for the Tar Heels. To the middle, and it runs through the slot. Reese couldn't get a stick to it, and now Worden will move it out, looking for an opportunity on the penalty kill. Worden instead doesn't have numbers, dumps it deep. Rolls around the boards, down the far side goes Oliveira. His pass to the middle, blocked into the corner. Reese far side, picks it up for UNC as they set up the man advantage. To the middle, deflects off the stick of Adamson, and it will be looped out of the zone by Briggs. Richard gloves it down. Tar Heels back in control. Neutral ice, picked up by Reese. Fans on the pass, so will take it himself down the far side boards. Leaves it there for Adamson, looking to force it deep. Instead, Reese comes up with a loose puck. Deflected pass, one-timer from Richard off the chest protector of Smith, and he'll hold it with the glove for a face-off. 8:51 left here in the third. It has been a surge from the Tar Heels here in the third period. 3 goals in the first 10 minutes and 11 seconds of this period have sent them from a 3-1 deficit to a 4-3 advantage. 1:13 left on the power play for the Tar Heels here as they win the faceoff backwards. Beeson finds Carlson over to Jones. Stumbles on the far point as he tries to get it deep. They do remain in control though. Looped around the boards on the near corner. Friedman coming away with it. He'll look back to the point. Poke checked by Miller, but it's kept in by Carlson. Loose in the high slot. Salfia breaks it up as Jones tried to gain control, and Patrick Salfia gets it out. He's ridden down at the blue line. And that clearance by Salfia looked to have gotten into the benches. And so I believe this face-off will stay in the zone. Now the linesmen are going to talk it over and determine where Salfia released this puck and whether or not, I believe it was Regan or Jones over there, whether they got a piece of it. They'll decide they didn't, and they'll decide that the face-off stays in the offensive zone for UNC. 8:27 to go, 49 seconds left on the man advantage. Worden to take the face-off against Friedman. Friedman wins it again for the Tar Heels. They'll set up the power play, but a nice poke check by Worden as he got a stick in front of that pass and knocks it out of the zone. UNC forced to reset. They swing it around the boards. Icing waved off. Charlotte wanted it. They won't get it. Pinned in the far corner. Poked loose. UNC in control. High slot off the metal. Beeson in the kill zone. Couldn't get it to go. And now a takeaway from Miller. He's going to be in alone on the shorthanded chance. Throws it wide of the far post. And now the Tar Heels can move it back up through the neutral zone. Weaving through the defense, Jones into the zone. Dumps it deep behind the cage. Giving chase. And it'll be dumped back out by Charlotte. Gerasimu, the one who cleared that up the near boards. Back go the Tar Heels. Oliveira pokes it deep. Hassled by Gerasimu. Loose, top of the near circle, bouncing puck, sticked wide by Smith. He had traffic in front and Oliveira, who will pressure now behind the net. He pokes it loose. Reese with control into the far corner. Shoulders off a hit from Beeler. Out in front, patted away by Smith, still loose in the slot, and it's tracked down by Noah Friedman for the Tar Heels. Power play is over. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Briggs behind his own net. Pinned there. The puck is loose. Adamson gets a stick to it. Move to the near corner. And Friedman lays a hit on Gerasimu as he moves it up the near boards. Terada gets it all the way out. Chasing it down is Shriver for Charlotte. Slips past the defender, Jackson Thomas. Pins it behind the net. And UNC able to get control enough to get it out. Loose puck at the blue line. Picked up and moved in by the Tar Heels' Reese. The dump in, deflected up in the air, glove down by Kramer. Weak shot sticked away in the slot by Smith. Cleared out to neutral ice at the red line. It's slapped back in by UNC, and we'll get an icing call here as Smith able to pin his post and watch it in for icing. 6:27 left. Again, back to even strength after Charlotte kills off the man advantage for UNC. And with the icing call, they'll get an offensive zone face-off here and a chance maybe to even this score back up. Worden will take the face-off for Charlotte, but it looks like first we will get a quick breather for these two teams. A timeout called, I believe this will be the Tar Heels calling the timeout, trying to get some rest to their players left on the ice after the icing. So this will give us a good opportunity to recap this game for you. In the first period, it was mostly UNC. They got a lot of chances here in the near end, put a lot of pressure on the Charlotte defense as well as their netminder and Colin Smith, but he was up to the task, and it was Charlotte on a power play striking first late in period number one as Andrew Miller knocked one home on the doorstep on the far side. That made it 1-0 at the break. Now a key play at the end of that period. James McCarthy has been out ever since he was knocked from behind into the boards by Matt Gelattley for UNC. So McCarthy out with a concussion, also had a cut on his face after that play, so he is done for the evening. Of course, Gelattley with the major penalty also out. That left a 5-minute major for UNC to kill off. That carried into the second, and although they killed it off, they did give up another power play goal. The captain, Chase Worden, on a deflection from the point on the shot from Salfia made it 2-0. About 9 minutes later, Charlotte added another with 4 minutes to go. Terada made it 3-0. Since then, 4 unanswered for UNC. A power play goal late in the second from Reese, another one from Daniel Jones and Noah Friedman in the third, and the most recent goal, even strength, Graham Karen made it 1-0 at the 9:49 mark of the third. So we continue. 6:20 to go. UNC has held the lead for a little over 3 minutes now. Top of the far circle, wrist shot patted away by Douthit. The loose change cleared out of the slot, and UNC dodges a bullet. Salfia sheds off a check in the neutral zone, cross-ice pass, and Charlotte gains the zone. UNC defensively steps up at the top of the circles, and they'll bring it back. A chance here for Kramer in, and he shoots it wide from the far circle. Up the near board, sent to the middle by Miller. Picked up by Worden. He'll leave it there for Eric Jones. Jones and neutral ice. Goes cross ice to the near side. Miller to the top of the circle. Wrist shot goes wide. Douthit may have gotten a piece of it with the blocker. UNC again just clears it out to the neutral zone. They need a change as they get a few new bodies out onto the ice. Beeler in control for the 49ers. Down the near wing. He'll be stopped up in the corner. And it's turned back out by the Tar Heels. Heavy hip check is absorbed by John Reese, who gets the puck deep but can't control. Michael Ray breaks it out for the 49ers. Up to Miller. He'll work around the defender, Oliveira. Power move to the front, and he scores. Short side on Douthit. Miller with his second, and we're tied at 4 with just over 5 to play. And that was a heck of a shot from Andrew Miller, finishing the pass from Ray, and he showed off his speed there. And Douthit just didn't have that top corner on the near side covered. Miller's finish gets us back even. Center ice face-off will get us restarted. UNC going to make a quick personnel change before the face-off. Kramer back out in place of Regan. And the Tar Heels get it deep off the faceoff. No icing on the play, so we'll resume. Smith to the far corner. Pressured by Friedman, up for Shriver, who sidesteps a check as he gets it out of the zone, but not much further. UNC turns it back in. Friedman on the near boards. Hassled by Gerasimu, cuts it in front. Nobody gets a stick on it, and it'll be cleared back out. All the way down, they'll wave off icing as Oliveira got a piece of it at the Tar Heel defense, and it'll be shoveled up the near board. Charlotte keeps it in the offensive zone. And the near circle, Carlson. Friedman knocks a man off the puck. He'll take control and pin it in the corner. Trying to get it back behind. It's out in front in the slot. Backhander is controlled and covered by Douthit. A great chance there for Shriver deep in the slot. And Douthit up to the task. And we're tied at 4 still with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And you've got to give a lot of credit to this Charlotte team. They have been able to go toe-to-toe with this UNC team, shorthanded on the bench for the entirety of this game, and they've lost a player in McCarthy as well. Back in the first period, UNC behind their own net, it's Jones. Spins it out in front to the near boards, one-touch pass back to the middle, and it'll be loose in that center circle. Still looking for somebody to control it. UNC does get it deep, and it will be controlled by Beeson. Beeson setting up behind the net. Circling around off the boards back to the far point. Richard tees one up, and it's blocked in front by Eric Jones. Back deep, Kramer. Backhanded along for Nodden. And Kramer again in the near corner. Worked on by Worden. Pass deflected high up in the air. Kramer jumped for it, couldn't get a glove to it, but UNC does come down with it. Nodden looking to backhand it in front, couldn't do so. Squirts out to the point, slapped off the far boards. Richard tees one up again. This time it's sticked away by the goaltender Smith. Loose puck, squirts out into the slot. Worden comes away with it. He finds Miller on the near wing. He races in all alone, rips a wrister, and Douthit doesn't let it by. Just over 3 to go. Tie game, and a big hit away from the play, and that will put Andrew Miller in the box. It's going to be, I would guess, an interference call. The puck had moved along, and Miller leapt up into the chest of Richard. Credit for the hit. It was a heavy hit, but not a legal one. And so UNC, presuming that the penalty is served out in its entirety, will get 2 minutes of the last 3 on the man advantage. 3:02 on the clock. We're even at 4. The Tar Heels trailed 3-1 going into this period on the back of a couple of power play goals and an even strength goal from Graham Caron. They were able to take the lead, but Andrew Miller has been a mainstay for this 49er team for the last 5 years. A super senior in his final season has evened up the score at 4 apiece. Both of these teams still unbeaten in ACCHL play. Carolina 2-0. Charlotte with their first win last night against Elon 1-0. Overall, of course, UNC without a regulation loss, they are 4-0-1, 2-1-1 for the Niners. So both teams looking to improve upon a pretty solid record early in this season. The Tar Heels get the power play set up. Near corner, Kramer. Pressured by Beeler. He'll sweep it behind for Reese, stolen away by Gerasimu, and he lifts it up and out to kill some time. Chasing after it, Terada. He's going to beat Matt Richard to it. Excellent hustle by the Charlotte PK. Terada forced off the puck, and UNC takes back control. Cross ice, thrown off the boards. It'll be corralled by Gerasimo just inside his own blue line. Can't clear it. In comes Kramer. First shot doesn't go. The rebound is swallowed up. And Smith, once again, comes up big for Charlotte as he'll keep this game even with 2:19 to go. Still a man up for UNC. For another minute and 18 seconds, the new power play unit out on the ice will be Regan, Beeson, and Carlson. Friedman, another forward, back at the point playing defense with Daniel Jones. Jones throws one to the net, blocked in the slot, and Michael Ray will lift it up and out. Jones chases it down in the far corner. Takes it behind his net, up the near boards. Back to the middle of the ice, breaking it into the zone for the Tar Heels. Friedman throws it off the pad of Smith, looking for a rebound, but he kicks it back to the near boards. Tar Heels set up the power play. Carlson back to the point. Jones, far side. Friedman throws it off the shoulder of Colin Smith. Another save for the Charlotte netminder. And there's 42 seconds left on the power play as the clock stops. 1:44 left in regulation. Worden to take the face-off against Regan. And Charlotte center Worden wins it out of the zone and all the way down. That should melt away a good portion of what's left on this penalty. As UNC works it up the near boards to the middle of the ice. It'll be thrown in by Beeson. Beeson holds it on the sideboards, far side of the ice. Outlets to the point. Shot on goal, patted away again by Smith. Jones just trying to get a deflection. And Smith stands tall. 10 seconds left on the power play. Puck pinned in the far corner. Tar Heels try to get it out in front, but too many Niners there. And Ray will finish off the kill with another clearance. Power play over for UNC. Big kill for the 49ers, and we've got less than a minute to go. Salfia dumps it out. A chance brewing here as Miller brings it in for Charlotte. Throws it to the center, and it deflects off a stick and up into the ceiling. And it looked like a Tar Heel stick, so this should be an offensive zone faceoff for Charlotte. 49 seconds left on the clock. It'll be a near circle faceoff in the Carolina zone. Chase Worden to take it for Charlotte. Looks to be up against Kramer once again. That's been a popular matchup here in this game. And we've got a whistle right off the draw. Looks like a false start on one side. We'll see. Well, they won't make a change to the two centermen. So just a bad drop of the puck by the linesman. Off the face-off, it winds up behind the Carolina goal. Swept along into the near corner by Oliveira. Out in front, and the Tar Heels clear it out of danger, but not out of the zone. It's sent right back in by Briggs. Tar Heels in control. Clearance blocked by Miller, and he wrists it just wide. With 30 seconds to go, he had a chance to get the lead, and he missed the net. 20 seconds to go. Charlotte pouring on the pressure, trying to finish this in regulation. Behind the net. Pinned by Richard. Taken by Oliveira. Sweeps it around the boards. Kept in on the far point. Wrist shot in towards goal. Blocked in front with 7 seconds to go. It'll be cleared out. One last chance for the Tar Heels. Racing forward, Kramer. Throws it towards goal. Blocked by Briggs. Another chance is stopped by Smith at the buzzer. Well, we are not done yet. We played 60 minutes, and we're still even between the Tar Heels and the 49ers. And I believe by ACCHL standards, we will play a quick overtime period. And if that doesn't decide it, it'll be a shootout. So 5 minutes up on the clock. The two teams here will get a quick chance to chat about what they want in this 5-minute overtime. While we have that break, a quick reminder that we have another game coming up midweek for your Tar Heels as they will host the Duke Blue Devils here on Wednesday, October 16th. Puck drop set for right around 8:45. And that's when we will be on the air for you here at Orange County Sportsplex. Love to have you here in person for the game, but if you can't make it, you can go to our YouTube channel. Just search UNC Hockey versus Duke, and you shouldn't have any trouble finding that live feed. The officials now gesturing to each bench. They're ready to return to action. A fresh 5 minutes up on the clock. Sudden death overtime here in Hillsborough today. And this is an important point on the line for these two teams. I did get a good chance to talk with both head coaches before the game, and the top two teams in general will make the postseason ACCHL tournament. There are 4 divisions, 8 teams go. only automatic bids go to the division winners. And then there are 4 wild card spots, but in general, it's usually the top 2 teams from each division. And this is going to be an important point. They'll fight for it in the north corner. Friedman comes away with it, throws it on goal. It's off the blocker of Colin Smith. And as we get overtime underway, a great chance for Chapel Hill. Move forward through the middle of the ice. Friedman can't corral it. And the 49ers take it back. Through the middle of the ice, getting a skate to it was Reese, but he couldn't get it to his stick. Worden to Salfia. Into the middle of the ice, looking for a man in Worden. He finds Miller instead, and it'll be stopped by Douthit. He'll cover up for a face-off. But another 49er struggling after that play comes to an end. And this time, it's one of the A's, and Patrick Salfia. But he'll tough it out and stay on the ice. 4:20 left in overtime. Worden to take the faceoff. And Kramer will win it forward for UNC. Can't keep control. Wrist shot. Didn't see it. Did Douthit, but it misses the net. And UNC continues to play. This one thrown off the side of the goal from a bad angle. Far corner by Miller again. And Charlotte getting some chances. Miller another one. This time a blocker save by Douthit. And another offensive zone faceoff for the Niners. 1 minute gone in the 5-minute overtime period. It's sudden death. And we're looking for that final goal. Near circle faceoff. Knocked into the corner off the draw. They'll pin it there. Sent out in front. Matt Richard blocks it down for the Tar Heels. Swings it back behind his own net. Oliveira looking to break it out. Off the glass, all the way down. It did catch the glove of Salfia on the way out, so no icing on the play. Up the far boards, Miller. To the middle of the ice, he's got Worden. 2 of the top players on this Charlotte team. To the far board, Salfia. Into the middle, it's Miller again. Circling, high slot, turns around and throws one right into the breadbasket of Will Douthit. He'll swallow it up, and another face-off in the offensive zone for Charlotte. It's a 4-4 hockey game here in sudden death overtime. And Charlotte has carried most of the play down in the UNC end here in this period. Face-off knocked to the near boards where they'll scrum for it. It squirts into the corner, shoveled back behind the net by Jones. Corralled in by Graham Karen. He'll get it out of the zone, but it's possessed by Charlotte in the neutral zone. Dumped cattywampus to the near corner, where UNC takes back over. Karen up the far boards, fanning on the pass for the Tar Heels is Beeson, who loses an edge into the zone and doesn't get off a good shot. Back out comes Charlotte into the neutral zone. There's a little more space out there, as you might have noticed. 4-on-4 hockey here in the extra time. Karen gets to it first in the far corner. Carolina zone. Out to the point. Kept in by Gerasimu for Charlotte. And they'll continue on the forecheck. Jones with it for the Tar Heels behind his own net. Off the boards and out. A chance here, maybe a 2-on-1 for the Tar Heels. Poke to the middle, but well defended by the Charlotte defense. Gerasimu moving in. Short side shot, patted into the corner by Douthit. Chapel Hill gets control. Back behind the goal. They'll look to set up a breakout. 2:10 to go in the overtime period. To the far boards. Past the benches. Tar Heels move it forward through the neutral zone. In they come. Shot sticked away by Smith. That one came off the stick of Graham Karen. Wrapped around behind the Charlotte goal. They're looking to get it out as the Tar Heels set up a forecheck. Reese to the middle, looking for Kramer, couldn't connect. Kramer, sideboards, finds his way into the front. It's off of Reese, still loose in front, and it's poked just wide by Kramer. Great chance for the Tar Heels. Back out in front, Kramer, and it's swallowed up by Smith. He'll cover and stop the play. 2 big saves for Colin Smith there. And we'll get an offensive zone faceoff this time for UNC. 1:32 left in overtime. It'll be Mason Regan to take the face-off against Chase Worden. And Worden wins it in his skates, poked into the corner by Regan. Pinching in Oliveira, keeps it deep. Regan battling with Briggs behind the net. Tyler Briggs comes away with it for Charlotte, pestered from behind by Regan, who knocks it loose. Tar Heels keep the zone. Regan, far wing, has it knocked away by Salfia. He'll get it out of the zone. And Matt Richards back pedals to it for the Tar Heels. Up the far boards into neutral ice. Or it'll be taken by Charlotte's Worden. The captain to the near side for Briggs. He's got space through the middle. Swatted at by Richard. Forced into the corner by Friedman. Centering pass picked off by Richard. He'll backhand it up the near boards. Under a minute to go in overtime. Stolen away by Miller. Near circle. Looks to the middle. It'll be deflected on the pass through. And a slow roller is swallowed up by Douthit for a face-off. And it looks like we'll get another timeout. This time it will be Charlotte to talk things over. They'll want to set up a play off this face-off. Just 48.5 seconds to go in a 4-4 hockey game. It was 3-1 going into the third. 3 straight from the Tar Heels. It was Daniel Jones, Noah Friedman, and Graham Karen to even up the score. A pair of power play goals, and then Karen at even strength with just under 10 to play gave UNC their first and only lead at this point of the game. But late in the period, the mainstay, Andrew Miller, in his 5th year with the 49ers, breaks down the far left wing and beats Will Douthit short side with just over 5 minutes to go. That evened up the score. And then, of course, Charlotte had to kill off a power play in the final 3 minutes of that third period. Did so to force this overtime period. And they've looked good in the extra 5 minutes. They've possessed down in the Chapel Hill end for the most part. And they've gotten off some good shots. Douthit has had to be active, and he's had to be out at the top of his crease in order to keep it out. Now, the Tar Heels have gotten a couple chances of their own. They finally started to establish themselves in this Charlotte end in the last couple of minutes. But right now, they're looking at a face-off in the near circle in their own zone. Both teams coming off the bench now. 48.4 seconds left in overtime. And it looks to be that same matchup at the face-off dot once again. Chase Worden against the best that the Tar Heels have to offer in Patrick Kramer. Worden wins it forward, but a nice job by Kramer to trap it in his skates, and the Tar Heels have a chance to move forward. If they're quick, it's an odd man rush, but they'll elect to ring it around the boards and deep. Kramer, far corner, dumps it behind the net. Friedman, he picks up the loose puck into the slot. One-timer from Kramer is deflected high and wide. Friedman with it again. His pass deflected up the far boards, and Tar Heels can't keep it in. Neutral ice, Daniel Jones around one defender. Down the near wing, working on Tyler Briggs, who forces him into the corner. Left there for Kramer. Kramer knocks it back behind the net. Salfia comes away with it there. Just 10 seconds to go in overtime as Friedman forces Salfia into the boards. Miller, one last chance, throws it high of Douthit in the goal. This one will get out of play, and a face-off coming for Charlotte with 1.5 seconds to go. And it looks like it'll stay in the offensive zone for the Niners. And I'm not surprised here to see Charlotte pull their goaltender and Colin Smith. Not enough time for UNC to send this the length of the ice into the empty net. So Charlotte will take the extra man with their vacated net. Face-off forced to the sideboards on the far side of the ice. That will finish off the overtime period as both teams come up empty. And that looks to be the end of it. These two teams will shake hands in the middle of the ice. A hard-fought contest. No shootout tonight to determine the winner. It will go down as a 4-4 tie after 5 minutes of overtime. Chances for both sides, but both goalies stand tall, and that will finish it off for today. Now, don't go anywhere. We will have a couple of post-game interviews expecting Noah Friedman along with his head coach Jeff Volkman, to join us after the game to talk things over and preview the week coming up as the Tar Heels host Duke here at the Orange County Sportsplex on Wednesday. And then, of course, head coach Jeff Volkman and myself, joined by Chuck Caton at the Tobacco Road Sports Cafe in Chapel Hill on Thursday for the Coaches Show. Well, that's all of the hockey action for today. We'll be back with head coach Jeff Volkman and forward Noah Friedman after this. The final score is UNC 4, Charlotte 4.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, unchockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
Tar Heel Newsbeat reports on the local stories in our town. Everything from sushi and BLTs to the makers and volunteers who are investing in making our town a better place to live. You'll find Tar Heel Newsbeat in the streaming channels section of your Roku.
News and weather for the untethered.
From the reserves of Topo Organic Distillery in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, comes 8 Oak Whiskey, aged with the heads already removed on 8 different chars of American and French oak. Topo's 8 Oak Whiskey, limited reserves at all ABC stores.
I'm Mason Regan. I'm a junior on the team this year. Check out our new website, unchockey.com. We have our team schedule, roster. We have a team store set up too, and we're a 501c company, so all donations are tax deductible. Come out and see us play sometime.
Tar Heel Newsbeat reports on the local stories in our town. Everything from sushi and BLTs to the makers and volunteers who are investing in making our town a better place to live. You'll find Tar Heel Newsbeat in the streaming channels section of your Roku.
News and weather for the untethered.
From the reserves of Topo Organic Distillery in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, comes 8 Oak Whiskey, aged with the heads already removed on 8 different chars of American and French oak. Topo's 8 Oak Whiskey, limited reserves at all ABC stores.
Welcome back to the Orange County Sportsplex. Chris Lehman now joined by Chris Adamson of the Tar Heels after a 4-4 draw with the Charlotte 49ers. A gritty contest today, Chris, and you guys are able to battle back in the third period. 4 straight goals if you go back to the second to take that lead. What switch flipped for you guys to get back into the hockey game after falling behind by 3?
Yeah, biggest thing for us was we were taking too many penalties. Had a big talk with the guys in intermission. Is we felt we were dominating this team 5-on-5 or even on our power play, and we just, the undisciplined penalties is hurting us. A lot of factors in the game that we don't have control over, but we do have control over our hard work. So that's what really turned it around. We got a quick goal on the power play. I think we followed up with another power play goal, and then we just started rolling. So.
Yeah, that's right. 3 power play goals today for you guys. You had 2 against Richmond as well, so the power play working pretty well right now. What are you guys seeing out there that seems to be having you guys clicking?
Yeah, our big thing is getting guys in front of the net, screening the goalie, getting those nice point shots, low on net, rebounds, just getting those kind of dirty goals. We're not a team full of talented individuals, by ourselves, but collectively we work hard, we shoot, keep it low, score goals. So.
And in that way, you've got a pretty similar team in Charlotte, both really gritty, getting into the corners, grinding it out. What was your impression as you got your first look at the Niners this season?
Yeah, they definitely play physical. They like to push us around. So we had to kind of come back at them with some of that gritty behavior to compete with teams like that like to use the body. But yeah, I think we're just 2 teams that like to push hard, work hard, and get the pucks on net.
Chris Adamson with me here on the post game here in Hillsboro. One last question for you, Chris. You got a midweek game coming up. You've already seen the Blue Devils, but what do you expect out of Duke on Wednesday?
Oh, they're always ready for us. They bring a full team. They got a big roster when the Heels are in town. So they'll be ready for us. They play hard. That's a big game for both teams. So we'll be ready for them. We don't take any team lightly, especially one like Duke, where we've got that rivalry. So.
All right, Chris, thanks for taking some time to talk to me. Great game today, and good luck on Wednesday.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that's Chris Adamson of the Tar Heels. We'll be back with head coach Jeff Volkman in a moment. 4-4 draw between Charlotte and your Tar Heels here today. Chris Lehman back at the Orange County Sportsplex once again, now joined by head coach Jeff Volkman of the Tar Heels. Jeff, a really gritty game, as I mentioned with Chris just a moment ago. The theme really seemed to be special teams today, though. Early in the game, too many penalties for you guys, but you convert on the other end in the third period.
Yeah, obviously, we learned a lot today from the mental mistakes that we're making this year, but we definitely, took advantage of that, and we got out of trouble. We were very fortunate to do that and got ourselves back in the game and started playing Tar Heel hockey.
And still plenty to learn about this team. You've only played 6 games now on the young season, but what did you learn playing against a feisty team like the Niners?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to a mental game, especially when you have a short bench with us. We have to play, our system. We talked about before last game, we have to, dictate the tempo and the flow. And we can't get carried away from mental errors, and we certainly we're on both sides of the penalty and the retaliation, and that can't happen as we face tougher teams here. But I was really happy with our play. The way we fought back and we were dominating most of the play 5-on-5. So I'm really happy about that.
And certainly you want to transition that into the midweek game. A bit of a quick turnaround by ACCHL standards as you take on the Duke Blue Devils on Wednesday at 8:45. How do you bring that momentum that you carried into the third and into the end of this game into that game against Duke?
Yeah, I think we have to. The guys just got done with midterms here, so it was a grinding week, mentally, academically for the guys. So next week should be a little bit easier. Short turnaround, as you say. Duke's a tough opponent for us no matter what. They'll show up with 30 guys, and they want to win. It's a great rival, and it'll be a tough game for us. They're well coached and they play hard, so we're looking forward to it.
All right, Coach, thanks for talking to me.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's head coach Jeff Volkman. Next time we'll hear from him Wednesday night as Duke comes to town to visit your Tar Heels. Final count here today is UNC 4, Charlotte 4 after an overtime period. That's all for today. We'll see you on Wednesday.